Hi guys, Cassie here. I am going to be showing off one of my new favorite games, which happens to be Cult of the Lamb. Now, warning, I am going to be showing off our camp and a little bit of the first level, but I'm not going to be showing any cutscenes or really trying to spoil anything with regards to the story. I'm just going to be showing off basically what our town looks like and kind of talking about our experience with this game. I say our because me and my spouse both played this game. However, he's not going to be providing his input. I'm just going to be sharing our shared experience. And the first thing I have to say is that this game is really great for couples. Maybe not everyone will agree, but for me and my boyfriend play pretty different games. So I play games like Animal Crossing, The Sims, casual games. And he does too. He actually, one of the games that we played together was Stardew Valley, and we enjoyed that because we could each kind of have our own specialty or thing, but we could still sort of share the experience. And I would actually say, in terms of experience, even though we couldn't physically be playing at the same time, this was kind of almost a better shared experience because we were watching each other each play a certain part, but we were each contributing to that part. You know what I mean? Like, he couldn't just be off doing his own decisions. We kind of had to come to them together. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed how cute the town folks are. I don't think if the game was not this cute that I would have enjoyed it as much, but it is very cute. So thankfully, I did enjoy it a lot. We put a lot of work into our town and we're pretty proud of it. We have villagers that are pretty old because of some of the rituals we chose. Basically, in this game, there's kind of different systems to improve things. So there's the faith that you get from the everyday people that kind of helps you unlock new buildings and stuff. And then it's also faith, but it's like a specific faith for using for rituals where you make decisions as you go along and on what type of rituals you do. Like if you starve people or if you give them a feast, that sort of thing. And we had to make a lot of those decisions together because obviously those things would affect our overall game. And it was a lot of fun coming together. There are some things we wouldn't always agree on. I'm not a huge fan. There's one ritual where you drug your followers into submission. I'm not a huge fan of that one. I think my boyfriend would have that popping off every time if he could, but he's very good about letting me just raise the faithfulness in other ways. And anyway, we've had a lot of fun with this game. You also kind of build the connection with your villagers. So you're certainly going to have your favorite villagers. Some of our favorite villagers we have these two cow villagers, Bray Bray and Amadeus. And then we have Valafar, who's a pig villager, who's like always pulling pranks. Valafar actually would pick on Bray Bray a lot. Like, Bray Bray would be made to eat poop. He'd be locked up in the prison that we have, the stockade. Valafar, anytime there was something evil that you could do to somebody else, he'd pick Bray Bray to have it bestowed upon. And you can, of course, refuse the missions, but it was kind of funnier to just see how they played out. And Bray Bray always kind of like took it in stride. But Bray Bray was pretty cute. Like, one time, Bray Bray came to me and he's like, "Master, I would like you to send Bray Bray on a missionary adventure." And I was like, "Bray Bray? You want Bray Bray to go on the missionary? That's you, dude." And anyway, I let him go. It was good. And another time he was like, "Can you go get me flowers?" And it's like, of course, Bray Bray. Anything for you, Bray Bray. And I went to go get him flowers, and I gave them back to him. He's like, they're for you. And I'm like, aw. And he's like, will you marry me? And I'm like, hell yeah, Bray Bray. So, yeah, we got married to Bray Bray. And we've also gotten married to many other people, but Bray Bray by far is our favorite. But we have a couple of core villagers that we don't let die. We just constantly resurrect them because they're our favorites, and we love getting missions from them, and we love interacting with them. So anyway, all this to say, this is a really great game. It has things for both casual players and players like my boyfriend that really like a challenge. So I don't think that this game would be as successful as something for us to share if the fighting aspect wasn't a challenge. He pretty much always did the fighting. I'm fighting currently just to show off the aspect, but basically you get different weapons every time you go in. You have kind of like this sort of kickback spell. You have whatever like melee weapon, and along the way you get these things called tarot cards where they add different bonuses, and it's like Binding of Isaac where the rooms are randomly generated, so you can kind of really get different challenges each time. And it was really interesting seeing him play through this, and it also didn't get too boring because each one of the dungeons takes roughly 15 minutes, so it wasn't too long before I could do town management stuff again, and I really feel like it hit that absolute sweet spot. Anyway, I hope I've won you over. Have a good day. Toodles.